That's what,
There's some support.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good
good morning,
morning.
everyone.
TRS Live Podcast. It is Friday. We're joined by Justin, as always. Justin, what's up?
Yeah, thanks for having me, everybody.
And we got the pew 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 pew. Andrew's in his Aussie.
Yeah, the cool person in the
Yeah,
building.
Yeah.
we got some cool people in here today.
Yeah.
I like that.
It is. It's
Should
real
I leave?
chill.
Hey, should I leave?
Chip. Chip Goy says, "Yo, what's up, Chip? How's
Morning,
everybody
Chip.
doing?" Well, fellers, we're in here with Andrew today because we're talking the pew pews.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know anything about that, so I'm going to let you guys just run with your pew pew talk.
Oh, the hostess with the mostest.
Absolutely. Typical Matt. Throw us to the wolves.
To the wolves. So first and foremost, turkey season's officially here.
Mm-hmm.
Youth season starts tomorrow. I am
Yep.
jacked.
They
Let's
got
sell
some
some
sweet-
shotguns.
sweet
Andrew.
weather,
You got
huh?
a pile
Okay,
of
so yeah,
shotguns in your
we have a
house.
huge selection of Franke, Benelli, Stoger, and most of them are on sale. We can't talk prices on the podcast, but most of them are on sale. You
Like-
probably won't find them cheaper. Let's just say that.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to get down and dirty with your description then, so people understand how
Yeah.
dirty these sales are.
Yeah, dirty enough that we can't talk about them on the.
So they're filthy, but that's only in store, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're just looking to move some inventory out with the old in with the new.
Yeah,
There's
honestly-
nothing wrong with them.
No, it's great guns and there's nothing wrong with them. The thing is we were prepping during the COVID time. You couldn't get any. You had to order everything a year ahead of time. So we just have too much inventory right now.
I think you're seeing that. I mean, we're definitely seeing it on my side.
Yeah,
right? That was
seeing
the
it pretty
thing.
much
Like,
everywhere.
Side as well.
the whole supply chain was, and you didn't know when you could get your next load, so you front loaded heavy, right? You didn't manage as what you'd normally consider the process.
Yes.
So you get it, you bought it, because if you had it, you sold it.
But
Yep.
if you didn't have it, you're out.
But if you didn't have it, you're
Lose-
SOL. So
Yeah.
So it's everything shotgun wise. Like you got upland, you got target, you got turkey, you
Yeah,
got
pretty much.
self defense.
They're self-defense, hunting, waterfowl, turkey, trap, stuff like that. Huge combination of those are on sale. There is some exceptions, like CZs aren't really on sale,
Okay.
but when
If
70%
you
of the
hit you on the right
shotguns
day,
are
it might be on sale.
Yeah.
come on in, play. Let's make a
Come on,
deal.
let's make a deal.
Make a
It's
deal.
the fun
All right.
game.
All right, I like
Customer
that.
always wins in that game.
Ooh,
So
that is
keep
a
that
great
in mind.
mindset to have. What about the ammunition that goes with those pew pews? You got those too?
I've got turkey loads on sale, actually. Quite a bit
Yeah.
of it, Winchester. They're all right on the counter, right by the shotguns.
Yep. You got any tungsten this year?
We have a little bit, but not much as of yet. We will get more as we get a little bit into this this end of this month and stuff. I have a lot of ammo orders on the actually pending right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So besides turkey stuff, what else is cool from your department? Like, I mean, every day I
A lot
talk
is
to you.
cool.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot.
Every day I'm talking to you, you got something new, something fancy. What's the latest and the greatest?
Well, I've been trying to keep on top of all of the new releases. There's been a bunch of companies releasing new stuff this year. The thing is I'm only able to get one or two of each at a time, and they're selling like hotcakes. I mean, these new releases, the Ruger SFAR 308, the Smith & Wesson released a new folder that I'm still trying to get. We should have one, stay tuned, pretty soon. So this just keeping up with the new releases is the big thing.
What
right
is
now.
what is a folder?
A folder is just this one's a pistol caliber carbine, so it's a rifle length, considered a rifle, but it fires pistol rounds and
Okay.
it folds.
What's the reason for that? Like
It's cool. It's just this is just cool.
Transportation.
transportation.
Yeah. So you can put it, in a small little range bag or something, have it fold up, or if you're going out to a cabin or your woods or anything and you want to carry like a 10 mil or something with a little punch, but not a giant heavy rifle,
Mhm.
it's a nice little backpack gun.
Nice.
It's kind of like a travel 2-piece rod,
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to relate the stuff I don't know about to the stuff I know
stuff
about.
you do
But
know
it is.
about.
It's
It is.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
just pack light and roll. So,
So like that almost could be somebody like that's going backcountry type hunting maybe this fall or something like that if they're going back in a little ways self defense wise. But
Yeah.
then also is that like big enough to hunt with too or whatever?
If you have a 10 mil or a 45 PCC as they call it, yeah, It is, absolutely. I mean, it's like using a 10 mil to take a whitetail with a semi-auto 1911 6-inch or a 357 Magnum or 44 mag or something.
But you're
Except you got more velocity because the barrel's even longer.
Nice.
Are you sacrificing range with that round? Or no?
A little bit. They're a little slow moving. But I mean, if you're lobbing a pistol round out at an animal over 200 yards, you've got some things you need to work
You
out.
got bigger problems than hitting the animal.
Andrew just spits these words out, and they just sound so cool, like PCC.
Yeah.
Well, everything's acronyms. It's
you
got to start.
It's that gun, that military, that mentality.
There is so many accessories, guns, and models. There's so many of them that you got to start just naming them random shit, or else it's just you run out of words. You run out of words. You really do.
Well, I guess before we continue on, I want to know more about like your background, like what put you in the world that you're in.
And firearm sales.
Well, no, just like more about you. Let's get to know you a little bit.
How did the knowledge come?
Yeah, like, because I don't know if maybe some of our customer base knows really all about what you got rolling on. Like, we don't have to go way back. But
so when I was 6.
Yeah, out down there. And
Uncle Timmy took me out.
Yeah, but anyway, no, like a little bit of your background.
Well, I mean, it does really stem from when I was young, though. I mean, my family's from the UP. My grandpa was a miner up there, and I spent most of my very, young years with him. I mean, he was one of those old school guys. I'm talking about when I was 8 years old, we wake up, we'd go cut trees before the sun came up, and he'd have me drinking black coffee before I was 10.
Nice.
So, I mean, he had me running power tools before I knew how to do anything. So, working and cleaning on guns and stuff, I mean, they were never locked up when I was a kid. I actually would go back there once he knew I was, safe with them. I wouldn't load them, and I'd actually start cleaning them. Actually, I have a funny story with that, too. I spray painted one of his guns trying to camo it. He wasn't happy about that one.
I bet not.
Yeah. So then moving on,
Whoa! You can't just say that. Like, how'd that story end? Did he just
get whooped?
You whooping, boy?
Well, no, he wasn't too happy about it, but at the same time, it wasn't like it was extremely valuable. This is like during the era that everybody owned like a sporterized old surplus military World War II rifle.
Okay.
That they get through a Sears catalog for $150.
Yep.
So it wasn't anything pricey. He wasn't too upset, but I got a little bit of an ass chewing. So yeah, moving on after that, I always wanted to join the service growing up, at least just for a little bit. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do life or not. A lot of my family is service, so it's almost just like it's super, super common. 2-3 of my cousins are still currently in, both male and female. My 2 uncles one of them special forces, the other one's a regional command sergeant major over in California.
Oh wow!
Or actually Fort Hood. He's West Coast regional. Yep. So it's just gets into that. But when I joined the service, I went right after high. Actually, I was like just freshly 18 years old, and I went to the recruiters, and they're like, "Okay, well, what do you want to do for a job at this selection after you take your tests and stuff?" And I said, "Well, I know I'm joining the Navy, but it would be cool if I wasn't on ships and I actually got to shoot at shit." And he's like gunner's mate. There you go. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but I like the gun part in it. And what it is, it's an armor of either small, shotguns, pistols, your 50 cal, the mod deuces. You always see in the movie the big fucking.
Yep.
So I worked with those, and then you either go torpedoes, missiles, VLS it's called, or you stick with small arms. I stuck with small arms.
Mm-hmm.
Went with a combat construction battalion essentially, and was their armor.
It's like armor's like a gun librarian, basically.
Yeah,
right?
you got to make sure that everything's kept up with. The bullets are all, well, there was a lot of shit lost. Anybody in the service can say that.
Mm-hmm.
Some magazines get dropped when ammo goes missing, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you got to keep a round count. So if you're sent out with 90 rounds, you better explain why you came back with 63,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is crazy. So how long were you military then?
I was in 6 years total, but it was split between reserve time and active time.
Okay.
And then I got out and I worked miscellaneous jobs back into construction and stuff. And then I got a random, I moved to Louisiana for a woman. I learned from that. I'll tell you that right now.
Whole nother podcast.
That's a
Whole
Dude
nother
Factor podcast.
podcast.
We'll get into that one. Yeah.
So
That's a little more relaxed than the social media one here.
hey,
It's a Dude Factor
just saying.
Yeah.
But
We're allowed to say some stuff on Facebook, but not all stuff.
I gotcha. But yeah, I got an opportunity to work with firearm sales and do technician work on it and so on and so forth. And luckily, the place I was at had import-export license, manufacturing. I mean, we could do anything we wanted. We could piece something together, build it, sell it.
Nice.
So it allowed me to really play around in the industry, and I realized, hey, I fucking don't hate coming to work every day. I love this.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh,
No,
Andy, you're gonna have to bleep some things.
We're live, bro.
Hey,
I know it's tough. I know
let
it's
it
tough,
roll.
but maybe we just gotta keep it to a minimum.
Okay.
we gotta keep
Just
it for
a
the
little
children,
down.
or
Yeah,
what?
I know.
I have a weird accent too, so some
Yeah,
things you
it's-
think I say I didn't say.
Well,
Yeah.
it didn't really happen, but
I'll
anyway.
spell that for you. PHOK. There's a silent E at the end with an R. And
Oh,
move
yeah.
on.
I don't even know. What
That's
spell.
if that answers your question.
Yeah,
That's
no,
just-
that is. That's very valuable to the customers that come in here because, like, you know, we had Steve in here, and Steve had a lot of firearms knowledge, and he was phenomenal. But I think, like, you bring a whole nother aspect to the firearms department here with not only your knowledge, but I think for like what you were saying before is you are with the latest and the greatest and what's trending right now.
What's new?
And that's what people want. Like there's collectors out there, you know, right? Like want the old, you know, the specialized stuff, but you're also like, you're not only a collector, but you're also like, dude, have you seen this thing?
Yeah.
Because every time I come up there, like you're telling me, oh man, did you see this company release this thing? This thing is so sweet. And I'm like, yeah, it looks cool. But like for you, that's what the passion comes through to the customers, and they really appreciate.
Oh yeah,
that.
I have a lot of guys that come in just to see if I've got new releases on things because they know I'm going to target it. I mean, keeping up with that latest and greatest. Is it necessary for everyone to always buy the new version of what they have? No, but if the improvements have made, you know, a drastic difference, like what do you think 40 Smith & Wesson is phased out at this point because 9mm ammo just became so good.
Yep.
And it just doesn't make any sense to have a less ammunition and a more uncontrollable gun anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we got to tell people before we get too far into this that you always go live on Thursdays at 2 p.m.
Yep.
But because of the topics that you talk about and the things that you talk about, those are only on Fixed TV.
We have to.
We have to. Now they're free on Fixed TV. They can watch it free. They don't need to, you know, have a subscription or anything to watch what you're talking about. But because that's our own platform, we control what's on that platform.
We're not
and
sponsored,
that's exactly what Fixed TV is all about. You have the freedom on there.
Yeah.
So for anybody who was wondering, like, you still do the lives. You just have to go to Fixed TV, and then I think Will shares them to the Real Shot. But because you work in a debated area of the Real Shot.
Well, what they call it is a regulated group of products.
Right. Every day it's under attack in some kind of way,
Oh,
or it's a
absolutely.
hot topic in some kind of way. So yeah, Andrew does go live every Thursday. Yesterday you were busy with the customer, so we weren't able to go live at 2 p.m. yesterday. But every Thursday at 2 p.m. you're live, but it's on Fixed
Fixed
TV.
TV. TV
So
for
if anybody
free.
wants, you got to set your alarms. It's Fixed TV Thursdays at 2 p.m. for Andrew with the firearms department.
Absolutely.
The pew pews,
The fun stuff.
the fun stuff.
That's funny too, because I have to shout out to our founding fathers there, the ingenious men to the Constitution, because the first thing they wrote down is, hey, you better, you should be able to say whatever you want to say, right? As long as it's non-threatening or something crazy, you should be able to say what you want to say. But with that being said, the second thing is you better have a gun to protect yourself after you say certain things.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's
How they wrote it out.
And that's
a good
the
way to put
fact.
it.
Yeah, I like
That's
it.
a really good way to put it. I like that. I mean, it's the truth. Like, if you're gonna run your mouth, you better be able.
Protect
You
yourself.
better be able to back your.
Yeah.
Whether we're going fisticuffs or we're going 10 paces and turning,
The old.
see who wins.
Yep.
Yeah, meet
Back
me
to
at
that
noon, high noon.
Texas conversation, right?
Yeah.
Agreement, gentleman's agreement.
So, like, you said you worked in what, Louisiana as a firearms dealer?
Yeah.
Okay, and now, like, how long have you been back in Wisconsin then?
Wisconsin, what, like three years now? I've been
Okay.
here about going on right around 2 years. So I'd say close to 3 here in total.
Okay.
Because when I moved back here, I started working some subcontract jobs up in the UP to just make cash immediately when I moved.
Yep.
And then while I was waiting on a firearms job, and I found here relatively quick. So
Nice.
about a few years.
So this has been, you've been here for what, 2?
A little over 2, yeah.
A little over 2.
But
Nice.
yeah, somewhere right around there, yeah.
Okay.
Working with Steve at first, the awesome gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a very knowledgeable man. I mean, he'd always impressed me with some of his gun knowledge, but there's just so many, and a lot of people don't know this, there's just so many guns out there. Makes, models, there's just so much information that gun guys, quote unquote gun guys, will spend their whole lives trying to keep up with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you find like your clientele here is like that kind of person? They, you know, they're up on everything, and do you find like people also try to trip you up at times to see how much knowledge you really have?
Oh, people will test me all the time. People will, new customers, especially guys over their about 50 year mark, they'll come in and throw complete curveballs just to see if I know what the hell I'm talking about. It's kind of funny because it's pretty obvious when it happens.
Yeah.
But
has anybody tripped you up yet?
A couple guys have, I'll be honest, but it's with stuff that like they have like 40 plus years of reloading knowledge or something on me. You know what I mean? Like very specific niched areas.
Yep.
But as the broad spectrum or, you know, most firearms goes things, not really. I mean,
so with the like, as we clearance out some of the shotguns, right? You're using some of those funds to broaden maybe the department.
Yeah.
What is that an area that you think the store will ever go to is more reloading, or are you going to kind of stay clear?
I want to. I know
move. That's like fly fishing, right? There's a billion people that do it, but it's also like a small community of like,
we actually have a lot of reloaders around here, especially with how many trap leagues there are.
Yes.
The issue is it's expensive right now. It's not worth reloading when I can buy, and I mean this, if you break down the numbers, it's $2 less to buy the ammo.
See, that's what I was going to ask. Like, is it cost effective? No.
Right now, no. Shipping is murdering the reloading industry and resellers. So there's a lot of people that, okay, I haven't seen this in forever. They buy all of it and then immediately go on some auction site like Gunbroker and they double the price. And, and it's just killing the rest of us trying to get our hands on things. But shipping too, has especially hazardous materials like primers, powders. The bottles that used to be, $35 a pound are now $60 freaking dollars.
Yeah.
My
brother is a big trap guy, and he said there's a place where they will actually collect the shot and clean it, and then you can buy it.
There is places like that. That is a little excessive for me, but I'm also not the type of guy that'll sit there and cry if one of my broadhead breaks a year,
Right. But like you said, for the trap guys that are shooting 3-4 nights a week, I mean,
you're collecting a lot of small, if you're in a range that has the capabilities of a trap like that, but if you're going out there picking through the dirt with a metal detector.
Oh yeah, that's, I don't think they're doing that. I think they're coming through, cleaning their earth, getting the shot out, cleaning it. And
that makes sense. That's pretty cool. I haven't been to that specific place.
I think it's in the southern part of the state. I don't know exactly where, or do I really want to give away any more knowledge that I really know, just in case like it's a lucrative type thing. But he's been waiting on it for a couple of years. I think
ammo gets any more expensive, we may all have to do that.
I hear you, man.
I'll be throwing rocks at Whitetail out there with a slingshot.
Well, I've always said is if they really take away all our privileges about it, I'll run them down with my vehicle. I don't really care. I'm going to hunt in some kind of fashion.
Yeah, you got to be able to do what you need to do.
If they take away all your privileges, I think we'll have bigger problems than
probably
eating deer.
Yeah,
I think at that point things will be way different.
Well, it would be like Mad Max. Everybody's vehicles will be like
modded out.
And just be like just driving through fields and mowing them down.
Well, I have to say I'm glad we all own trucks then. There's a little advantage there,
Yeah, we got to put better deer guards on them. So okay, so you were kind of talking about some of the cool new stuff that you got. And you mentioned the backpack style gun.
Yeah.
Or pew, I should say.
Yeah, the folders.
The folders. What else now? Like what was, there was one, like, I think it was 2 weeks you were telling me that some company came out with something new, or I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. What else is?
The SFAR. Ruger, the 308.
Yes.
He could have said anything there.
I know.
And you'd have been
That's what I did.
Yeah, that's the one. So that's I'm the same way.
There's a handy knowledge coming up.
I love listening to it, but I don't have a clue.
Well, the SFAR is actually a really cool design. So a lot of people, if you don't know, AR-15, the Armalite platform, not assault rifle. That's who designed and patented it. They sold it to Colt. Colt tried to pitch it off to the military. Now, the original design was a 308 because everything was 30 cal rifles previously. So they took the 308, they modified some other existing magazines, and they basically threw this thing together to try to semi-automatic cycle 308. And it was a failure. It was a complete failure, and it wasn't the greatest. Fast forward multiple versions, and you have the AR-15, which is the smaller 223-556 shooting. So the AR-10 or AR-308 was the original design. Now that manufacturing's a lot better and they kind of worked out the kinks, it's becoming really popular again. So Ruger came out with something called the SFAR, the small frame auto loading rifle. I think it stands for super freaking awesome rifle, though. They had to do something, but awesome. They essentially took away the one downside to this platform is it was heavy. I mean, you have a 20-inch barrel, something like that, with a handguard that runs down the whole thing, and then a giant receiver. I mean, it was just heavy. Ruger cut down the weight to, I think, on the 20-inch, only like 7.2 pounds, and on the 16 like 6.8 or somewhere right around that, which is a lot lighter than I took an example from an older LR 308, put it up, and then that was over 10 pounds without any accessories. The SFAR fell in less than 10 with a scope, with a mount, with a mag. So yeah, it's a lot lighter.
Andy just asked me a question. What was the question, Andy? What style handguard comes stock? Is that on that platform?
On the SFAR?
It's a super awesome thing.
The super.
So he's asking me full Picatinny or what, M-LOK? It's
M-LOK. It's a free float M-LOK on it.
Okay.
It also comes with an adjustable gas system, which is a nice added perk by them. You just stick an Allen key in, and essentially what you're doing is how these rifles work is they fire. And then as that round leaves the barrel, there is a gas port or gas block at the front of the barrel or through somewhere towards the front end. It comes up through that gas block. It shoots back through the gas system, which is just a tube. And then it hits this little nozzle on the top of the bolt. And that launches the bolt to the rear. And then you have a buffer that's a certain amount of weight with a spring. And that tries to keep the speed functioning correctly. So you're not overextending the bolt and you're not undershooting it where it's not coming back far enough to grab the next and reload the next round.
Yep.
So the tunable gas system is allowing you, hey, if my rifle's acting a little weird and I'm ejecting straight this way, straight that way, or it feels sluggish or it's not wanting to grab every time, tune the gas. Because then you can open it up or close it and try to get it to cycle where you want it to.
Really?
Especially changing up ammunition, because I'm going to shoot something a lot lighter and if I'm just playing around at the range, versus something I'm going to take out and hunt. So, yeah.
It's a braking system on a casting reel is what that is.
Yeah.
Relating it.
Is that the only kind that has that so far?
Not the Ruger SFAR specifically, but AR platforms do big time.
Jim's got a question for you, Andrew.
The 92XI, I was actually just at the range with 92XI. What was it? Oh, Sunday, I think. I think it was Sunday. I had a private range lesson instruction with a customer here. I offer it to some of our new shooters because, yes, you can go out and you can plink around and learn to just shoot and do decent on paper, but learning all the fundamentals and establishing the right way to shoot handguns right off the bat, as well as being aware of things you wouldn't think about. Because there's plenty of people that'll go out, buy a gun, go to the range, and then go, okay, I'm solid with this. But in that same thing, there was a woman in, I can't remember where it was some northeastern state a couple years back, that she thought she was hot cakes with her new handgun. She carried it around everywhere like, John Wayne or something. And she was out with her, I think a 4-year-old, 6-year-old, a couple of her kids. And a pit bull ran up. And she freaked out, drew her pistol, started shooting while spinning a circle, and shot her own kid and killed her kid. And that's just that type of stuff that people don't think about is like one of the fundamental lessons. Know your target and what's behind it.
Oh.
Right? So immediately she draws down, which is okay against a dog when you got kids in the situation. But to not focus on what's behind the dog as you're just panicking and firing, that's just poor. I mean, it's poor gun ownership. She should have took better care in taking classes and educating herself a little bit more comfortably, because at that point the power is in your hands and you need to be responsible.
Yeah, but sometimes I
think Spider-Man's grandpa or uncle said something about that, right?
Hard to train that level of adrenaline and you know what I mean, like that scenario.
Repetition.
Yeah,
that's the same reason in the service though will wear you down, make you go 48 hours and no sleep, because if you can do it when you're exhausted, when you're just, you build that just natural reaction that way, you know. When I go to the range, when I practice with my self-defense gun, you don't have to go every day, but every few months you should just touch up on it, like even for 30 minutes at the range.
Yeah.
Because you forget what the recoil is going to feel like. You forget, you'll see it. You'll lose hand-eye coordination a little bit. So just getting reacclimated to it every now and then helps a lot.
That's probably like anything, like shooting your bow.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
that's crazy though. Like, I think you're right though. I think a lot of people just take it for granted that I know how to do it, and they forget.
They will. They'll get
all
sloppy.
of a sudden, a high pressure situation rolls in, and
then you just lost a little bit of what you thought you had.
So, like for Justin's world, my world, and the archery world, like competition is a good way to deal with the pressure, like that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Competition in the firearms world would probably help with that as well.
It does, but again, the big thing, you don't have to take it that serious. It's just touching up at the range once in a while, and in an initial training environment is really helpful too.
Have you ever done, or have you ever considered doing competition? Like I don't know.
I've done some down south, but in Wisconsin, being here only a few years and not knowing every group and area and gun club, is kind of took me out of it a little bit. Plus, there's not as many NRA shooting competitions in Wisconsin as there were down south where I was. That was like, so where I was, there was a bunch of factories of guys that worked 12-hour shifts, 4, 5, 6 days a week. When they got off, anyone that was gun store customers, almost all of them just bought guns and ammo and then went to competitions. Because there was not much else to do. It's farms and factories, you know, so...
Is there anywhere in the state that you have heard of so far that does?
I've heard of some that do competitions, but not as they're all like NRA supported or the big names supported. Mm-hmm. So there might be like a lot of competitions through local gun clubs and stuff like that, but I don't see too much big name competitions around here.
Okay.
Which we need to change. We'll work on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it. It always seems interesting, and whenever I see them, cruising through the internet, like it always seems like those southwestern states, like Arizona, Texas, is where I see a lot of it. Desert situations, maybe. I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, it is. It's also like where authorized, because you're gonna have to get approvals from the state and the Fed and everything if you're gonna host large shooting. It's a lot of liability. Mm-hmm. So areas you'll see like that is because the land was cheap and there's nothing around to hurt.
Right.
So, I mean, they host a lot of competitions in just desolate areas that people can take a plane ticket to, once, twice
Makes
a year.
sense.
Yeah, right. 100%, right? In the desert, there's nothing sometimes for
plus the land's cheap. I mean, you look at land prices in random places in like Nevada or something,
It's a lot easier to take a bulldozer and put a berm up behind something there than it maybe is elsewhere.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, I don't know, did you answer Jim's question then?
Yeah, I shot it. Okay, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked there. Going more into detail with that, it's an awesome shooting gun. I've always been a Beretta fan though, and my 92, my 96 have always been like my go-to. If I go to the gun range with any of my handguns, that almost always comes with. So the fact that they made a single action Beretta with a frame mounted safety is extremely exciting.
What are we talking about? I mean, I don't even know
the Beretta. So the Beretta 92 series was used as a service pistol for a long time. It replaced the Colt 1911 that everybody recognizes. So back when officers and everybody's carrying the 45 Colt, not everyone had to switch, but they made a mass switch to the Beretta 92, the Italian pistol with the... It's easily recognizable because they own the patent on the open slide design. So on the top of it, where you would see like a closed slide on a handgun, Beretta has that cutout where you just see the barrel all the way till the front sight. So they're pretty standout-ish. But it shoots awesome. The 92XI is just an awesome idea and platform, in my opinion.
All right, I got a silly question.
Mm-hmm.
when this is going to sound really dumb because I don't even know what the heck I'm talking about. When you cock the slide back on a handgun, okay, why does it look like the barrel that's exposed is like free floating and pointing up? Am I asking that correctly?
Yeah, it's called a barrel cant.
I'm sorry, what was it?
It's called a barrel cant.
Okay.
And what that's doing, it's not designed into every single pistol, but most modern pistols have that feature. And all it's doing, so you have your frame like this, right? Let's use my hands as a reference. This is the barrel that pew pew comes out of, and this is the grip. So when you load your mag in, those rounds are feeding off the top of that mag. Now that mag might not always be as high as the barrel, so to better help feed, especially larger hollow points that hollow point, cut edge could get caught, the barrel cants down to give an angle to shoot the round into the chamber easier.
I just noticed that. I'm like, how is this thing even accurate?
I've noticed it too. I just
once that seats forward from the face of that slide to the bolt, it's locked down.
Okay.
So at that point, I mean, it's locked in place. But yeah, that once it releases, there's actually, like, you can feel it on a semi-auto. It'll click and come out of battery. Then it unlocks the barrel, which on a Beretta, for example, would be called a Truick block, where that keeps it in place, but once it comes back, it unlocks it and cants it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Great explanation.
I know. I'm learning something today.
That's-
Every day you learn something, I feel is a great day.
It is a great day.
I love that.
Any day I talk about guns is a great day.
Well, that's right.
So that's every day then.
I love it. That's what I said.
Yeah.
It is a great day. Well, and that's something too that I think is really important, again, to just reiterate that those Thursday lives, like, we can demonstrate this kind of stuff. Like, if we weren't on YouTube and Facebook right now, we could be showing these things.
Yeah, we could show the items I'm talking
watch
about.
Thursday on Fix TV.
On Fix,
Yeah, 100%.
To actually see this stuff, and because it would be shut down immediately. We want to go through Facebook to get the comments and the questions, right? And YouTube, the same thing, but we can't unfortunately bring one in here because it would be.
They get flagged, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even YouTube's monetize. I thought YouTube would be the last people to do this, and they kind of were, but they're even taking down videos over if you show loading a magazine, if you show this. But YouTube is such an education source of, hey, how do I do this?
Yes.
How do I do that? How do I clean or properly use this and involved with a firearm? So how are you going to ban that?
I don't understand how, like, the firearms videos that are on YouTube have millions of views, but they're actually, like, physically loading and shooting the gun. Like, how is that possible? What are they doing differently that that's
a question we've been racking around our heads. I'm still trying to figure that out. Some people get like flagged or banned, or certain videos get flagged or banned, and then just some get the slip. And what I do see though is that the higher follower content accounts that make their income off of these channels will sue YouTube so fast that they won't monetize them.
Well, and YouTube's probably losing a lot of ad revenue off those videos as if they don't leave them up
and
there.
that too, if they're getting 3 million.
Because that's how YouTube's making their money off your videos.
So getting 3 million views per video versus the guys who just start out, they get, maybe 500 to 1,000, they're a lot more likely to get banned.
Yep.
It's always about the money.
Oh, it really is. It really is.
First, I don't even want to. I do want to, but I will not.
You do, but you don't.
But I can't.
Don't.
We
So
love y'all.
you brought a couple of things with you. Whenever you feel fit, man, let's talk about some of those things. But again, like any topic you want to roll with, let's roll with it.
I brought along a few little interesting products. One is this, and I have a specific reason for bringing this in. This is a Caldwell. It's a wind reader. I use these on the rifle range a lot. I use them when I'm out hunting a lot too, just to give me an accurate, hey, this is the direction of the wind, because I'm sorry, and I don't mean this directly to you guys.
Yeah, he does.
But the old school way of licking your finger and going, I think we got about a 7-mile-an-hour east-west here. I mean, just for putting your scent.
Don't say it.
Hey,
that.
I don't. Not only do I not sound like that, you do. I have a iPhone and I have like
tells me.
6 weather apps on there. Most of them are wrong, but
Well,
after I go through all those, then I go, yeah, that son of a bitch is blowing directly out south.
I was gonna say though, like the weather app thing is cool, but it's not giving you an accurate reading. I mean, how many times is the weather completely right?
Well, yeah, it's not giving you an accurate reading of where
exactly
where you at.
you're at.
So
if
like
you're in
that
a
weather
ravine,
station could be 20 miles away.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I fully understand.
And
it.
I mean, that's not accounting if you're in some kind of ravine, divot, anything where the wind's whipping differently. I mean, there could be a buck 40 yards that way up a hill and the wind's acting completely different than your weather
for
app.
sure.
Swirling.
Yeah, you
Plus,
know all
if you're
about
on your
that.
cell phone while you're hunting, I don't want to hear it.
Man,
And Andy,
tell
I
me
need
who's
you to
not.
zoom in on what this man's drinking in this water bottle. That's raccoon urine.
What?
It's emergency.
Emergency?
I get my daily dose of vitamin C.
At my house, just because of the ooh, that didn't go pay.
Brought to you by Ovaltine.
Ovaltine. But like when I've been trying to get my yard clear of the darn leaves that stayed from last fall that I didn't get on.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like the wind will be south.
Yeah.
In the front of my house, but because of on the backside where the house is right now, it's like east or west or just those terrain features.
Yeah.
Those will change it up so much.
It does. It really does.
Big time.
And I hunt stock and ground most of the time in swamps.
Okay.
So I'm not up in trees a lot, and I have the ability like to move with the wind, and I have to. I mean, I find the trails. I'll try to prep for as much as I can, but I have to play the wind. And this, I just put one on a lapel and hang it on my neck while I'm out, and I sit there and just keep clicking it. Okay, keep clicking it. Every little once in a while, but they're like a $40 tool, but on the rifle range it's huge.
So does that actually like have a computer readout then that says like it's east, or how does
This one will give you well, actually this is the cheaper one. This one gives you mile per hour and direction from where you're standing. So this one doesn't give you east west, it's just going to say standard just
Can I see that?
wind. Yeah.
That might be like a way more cost effective because you buy like those little winds or the bow hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
The little puffer bottles.
pretend to be one?
Yeah, I know you do a good job at it. People believe it. But the little puffer bottles, right? You go through what? You probably go through like Tennessee.
I use milkweed.
Milkweed.
Yeah, I use milkweed.
You're blowing it up. I was gonna leave that one alone. I do too.
Yeah.
But milkweed doesn't tell you how fast that milkweed is flowing away from you.
No, that is also true.
So but that'll do it.
If you're talking on the firearm side of things, where you
that
get
makes
bullet drift or
right.
But even out in the open prairies, if you're firearms or your archery, you need to know that crosswind.
Yeah.
For how much drift.
That one, like I said, that's the cheapest model. The Kestrels are the ones that are like, you can either get it as a wind reader with a built-in GPS, or you can get even a ballistics calculator built into it, and you'll get your wind reading. You'll take down your data when you're at the range in different conditions. You basically push a button, range it, and it'll tell you exactly what your bullet's going to do.
On a side note, I know a lot of people that do like prescribed burning.
Mm-hmm.
They like these things too for exact wind readings. This doesn't do humidity though, right? Like
that's just the cheapo. I need to know the wind speed and stuff.
But for long range shooting, humidity comes into play
as
well,
huge,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Does a barometer too? Is that?
It does, but you are talking shooting very far. There's the only range I even know of in Wisconsin that's over 500 yards, and I think it's like 550, is Shiocton.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many long ranges to do that, because you're talking at that point you're over 800 yards. So I don't see it being completely necessary on the humidity side. But those Kestrels are capable of it. But those are and we are getting a couple of them in here, but it's just going to be more of a one-off and special order thing, because they do run like $700.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa, smokes.
You got to be serious.
Dedicated about it.
Sure.
But you can get those if they're available?
Yeah, they are available.
Oh, okay.
I've special ordered them for people. It's just there's a specific group of long range enthusiasts, but at that point, I mean, these guys have spent $2,000 on a rifle, $3,000 on a scope. So
yeah, 700.
Yeah, drop it.
If it's a tool you need for your trade, you're buying.
Yeah,
it,
I think this is a good product for us to have.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
for only $40,
$47.99. I think this is crazy. smart that it's worth investing.
I'm gonna have to pick me one of these up. I know you already showed me this, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that wheel's sensitive. That little thing's moving already.
Yeah, just off your hot breath.
Talking about some of these products again.
Now this is nice.
This is the Streamlight. There's many versions of Streamlights, and it's all just like power of the lumens of the flashlight and so on. But this is a laser flashlight combination, and people, I want to let you know right now. I know, and I've been through it myself. With a red dot, Vortex red dot as the optic. This is one of the most useful things you can have to keep up with that modern, what we were talking about. So essentially you have a toggle, toggle switch on the rear, and then you have your on off. Now what this enables you to do is
flash it right in that big camera there.
Flash it right in the big camera.
See, now they can see just how bright that thing is. Okay.
Well, we're in a lit room, but so when things go bump in the night, these are the best thing to have because you can now see, what's going on. It also, the laser lets you know where you're aiming if you don't completely because if anything goes bump in the night, you're going to be groggy. It's going to be 4 a.m., So you're not only going to blind whoever it is, Mr. Bad Guy that comes in, you can better see, and you've got a laser to that you can zero in.
Yep.
So this is just an awesome tool to have. Every home defense gun should at least have a flashlight, but a laser is a good addition too.
Can you show the people on the back wall there what that laser looks like?
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
And you can use them in conjunction with each other, right?
Yeah, so you can use either them both in conjunction with the laser light, or you can go just flashlight or just laser.
Dang.
So daytime, nighttime, you got pretty much everything. It's not overly heavy. If anything, the little bit of added weight to the front end of a pistol kind of keeps the muzzle jump down a little bit. So it's just an awesome tool, but they're also great for training. So that when I was saying, I was doing that range lesson, I had him get one of these. And at first he was skeptical, but I was like, trust me on this one. So he got one. We installed it, got it zeroed when we were at the range, and he loves it. I mean, when you turn on and you've got that laser to help you practice, so when you're practicing your trigger pull and everything, if you find out you're, all over like this, shaking on the target, it's good feedback, like visible feedback to see what you're doing wrong. I told you about the raccoon piece.
Cat toy, right?
As for the optic side,
so I'm sorry, it's Friday. What did that retail on that?
Retail on this one, I think it's $179. We can get you, it depends on the lumens you want, because this one's a 200 lumen, the affordable model, but it's still good quality.
Yep.
If you want 500 to 1,000 lumens, we can get you that, and we can turn on the sun in somebody's,
Yeah, pitbull. Somebody's pitbull.
A special license for that one.
So this is the Vortex Venom. It is a red dot. It's just a glass window with a red dot that lasers onto it. You zero these on your pistols. And for the longest time, to be honest, I'm guilty of this. I was an iron sight pistol guy. That's all I ever had. And even when I was in the Navy, we kind of got to pick and choose, and especially me as the armorer, I kind of leaned towards the M16A3, which was, most people wouldn't because it had full auto, and it had the iron sights, the old Vietnam style setup. And I was a fan of those irons, and I was a fan of using the Beretta with irons. So I didn't want to use red dots for the longest time. I mean, until literally, probably until I moved to Wisconsin, I didn't start playing with them too much. And they are so much faster for target acquisition, because now you don't have to worry about lining up two separate things. You don't have to, think about it like a scope on a rifle versus two irons. This is just one dot. You zero that dot for a good medium range where you think you'd be shooting, and then you just bring it up. It takes a little learning curve getting used to, because you bring it up a little differently, because now you got this high window. But once you get used to it, that you just, wherever that dot is, it's going. It doesn't matter if you tilt your hands, torque your hands, throw the dot, and all of a sudden it's way over here on the screen. Where that dot is where that round's going.
Oh, that's nice.
So you're zeroing that dot on a movable window to match where your bore's pointing.
Yeah.
So they're super fast.
I need that.
I agree.
I need that.
A lot of people that are having or issues with their eyesight too. So if you woke up in the middle of the night, you didn't grab your glasses and something happened.
Yeah.
Red dot, just boom. And there's a lot of motion activated ones that you just pick it up and it goes.
Can you shoot that with both eyes open? Is it recommended?
Yeah. That's what it's meant to be. You should always shoot with both eyes open anyway, but there is a lot of people that their eyes fight for dominance and can't.
Yep.
But it's awesome. It's also good for people with eye conditions, though. Like there's certain ones they design specifically for people with astigmatisms and stuff, all kinds of stuff. But they're just an awesome tool. This one retails for about like $240, but there's a wide product line that goes all the way up to like $500-$600 on Red Dots. But some of them are in that only $150 range, $200. These ones $240, the Venoms, but they come with a lifetime warranty.
That's
and
important.
I mean, it's a buy once, cry once thing. You get it, you are like, okay, I really like this, and if you ever break it, it's free. You never pay again with Vortex.
Especially for us here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, like them just a couple hours
from
away.
The valley, it's easy peasy. Plus, you'd have to like find a goofy way to break that thing.
Yeah.
For them not to take care of you.
Yeah.
Like,
well, no, there is no. You cannot possibly make up a way that they won't take care.
If you wanted to, you
if
could
it
test
is
the limits.
stolen. And if it is lost, because then I could just, buy one and then give it to my buddy and say, it's gone.
Right.
People could take advantage of them. So those are the only instances. It doesn't matter what happens to this. If your dog ate it, and it doesn't matter. They'll take care of it. That's why they say the unconditional warranty, and it's a pile of parts in someone's hands.
Yep.
Is the only drawback from iron the battery? I mean, obviously,
the battery is the only drawback, but some of these batteries, I mean, they're rated for thousands of hours if you're not overly using it.
Okay, because I mean, you're not really lighting up a whole lot.
I mean, think about it this way. There's a lot of people that both law enforcement, like when I was in Louisiana, a lot of the local sheriffs around there were switching to red dots. And they use nicer motion activated red dots, and you get what you pay for. So if you're putting, a $100 red dot on, but if you put a $400 red dot on, a $500 red dot that has motion sensor activation, and cops are trusting it to always work for them, then I'd say it's pretty reliable. I mean, you're talking a lot of hours of use with motion.
Well, and Vortex also makes one that's has a solar.
Solar, yeah,
option,
it'll recharge itself. Yes.
Yeah.
But they're a little bit bigger. It's kind of those are more for rifles on a lot of those.
Yep.
Because they're just a little too big for some compact pistols and midsize.
Now, that one won't fit a turkey gun though, right? Like you have ones that
I can make it fit.
You can make it fit a turkey gun.
You just need the adapter. So it's a little. That's why I said it's a little small though. So I could get an adapter plate and put this on a rifle or a shotgun.
Yeah.
But the window's so small and the optic is so low that you're gonna like uncomfortably be down on your stock. So the larger window with a little bit more height of their other rifle shotgun line red dots is just a more comfortable choice.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day before. Now that kind of leads me into this too, like service work to firearms to the pew-pews. You can do basically anything, correct?
Well, anything's a big word.
What?
Yeah.
Anything's a big word.
Is it too broad?
Too broad.
Too broad.
Okay, well, explain what you are capable of doing here and what we can't do here, but I thought there's something that you're working on. Yeah.
So I have worked the most on semi-automatic platforms, rifles, shotguns, handguns, but bolt actions are easy. So if it comes to technician work, if you need something fixed, if you need something, a part switched out, something upgraded, modified, aftermarket, I can do all that. I do a lot of maintenance and cleaning. Where I hold away, especially here at TRS, is we don't have the equipment or the time to work on advanced gunsmithing things like, hey, I need you to, start drilling and cutting and doing this and that. We just can't with the situation, but we do contract out to America's Gunsmith in Wisconsin. So we just send it right over to them. We do a lot of work with them and they'll get it back, in a week or two, couple weeks, but they can do anything. So why compete with that when it's a whole building of just gunsmiths?
Mm-hmm.
And they got pretty fair prices too, but we do the rest of it up to that intermediate level that it's not going to take me 5 hours to work on in-house. Yeah.
So basically, Andrew can pretty much take care of all your service needs.
Yes.
Whether he does it in-house or outsources it.
Yeah.
If you need it, he can definitely take
coat too, or
they do everything. Not even just like a Cerakote, like, hey, I want a green or a brown Cerakote. You can actually walk up and say, hey, I have a Browning A5 Wicked Wing or something, and I like Benelli's new Super Black Eagle camo pattern, and they'll go, yeah, we got that pattern, and they'll do it. Like they can do pretty much anything. They can rechamber rifles in different calibers. They do it all. They
Really?
actually like these. I'm telling you, these guys have been gunsmiths for like 40, 50 years. They enjoy weird, wacky projects. So when I called them up one time and I was like, "Hey, I got a Marlin 336 lever action. Yeah, can you cut down the barrel to 16 inches, take the magazine tube back, repin that tack, and thread the barrel for a suppressor and move the front sight back?" They're like, "Yeah, I'm figured out. I love this idea." Because they knew I wanted to suppress lever action.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know,
it's like Cowboy vs. Alien type stuff
that's
right
deep.
there.
a suppressed lever action is quiet. I mean, even a 30-30, there's a company out there that if you don't reload, they sell subsonic 30-30 that's moving a little slow. So your effective range now goes to about 100 yards in, but because the action and everything is completely closed and you have no gas system running or anything, and then it comes out, all that gas comes out through the can, it would be crazy. I don't think we can look, we can't look it up on social media right now, but if you're at home, go on YouTube and type in suppressed 30-30 and click on one of the major videos with a lot of views. It is like, you hear it hitting the steel louder than the gun going off. It's like ping, ping.
That's the shit that's interesting.
It does get a guy a little bit excited.
It does. It's neat.
Like when we're like, what are we talking about today? I don't really know, but now I'm like, dang, this is
well, the suppressors are. A lot of people stick away from it because of the paperwork. They're like, I don't want to wait in.
Talk a little bit the suppressor thing, like
the law on it.
Yeah, and are we ever going to be able to do that here?
So it's a class. Yes, we're going to move to have suppressors as well as being able to do custom builds. That's in the works right now, but there's an application process and a waiting period before the government lets us. But we're gonna have them in here.
Nice.
That's 100%. People don't appreciate suppressors that haven't had them, and again, because it can take anywhere from 6 months, 9 months. Everybody has to go through that initial period, but once you get one, especially a multi-caliber, you just change the adapter. You can use it for multiple guns you have, and the usefulness of it being quiet. So an example, when I was down in Louisiana, I won't say where or exactly what happened, but I had an indoor-outdoor cat that was good for pest control because we had the landowner had some cattle behind us that we'd watch.
Yep.
I had an indoor-outdoor barn cat, and raccoons found out I'd leave food out for her, and they started coming over, and they were some pretty burly raccoons. Mm-hmm. Started fighting with her. Well, let's just say a suppressed 22 doesn't make any noise at all.
They never heard it coming.
Does the potato trick work?
No, and it you can muffle.
Does a water bottle, Justin's water bottle with rag shoved in it work?
No, there's oil cans work, but we're not getting into that.
Okay, that's fixed TV exclusives.
Oil filters?
That's fixed TV exclusive, like Lance said.
This is a good topic for
I'm saving all my filters for my oil changes going forward. Sir, why would you like that filter? I recycle.
I recycle. But why is it so hard to get them? I guess I don't understand.
I think so many. I mean, there's a lot of examples in the US where public scares happen from movies and other crap. People think suppressors are this thing that, if anybody can just buy a suppressor, then they would be this silent, deadly walking ninja when they go out to shoot someone. Right. Suppressors make a lot of noise. You need specific calibers, specific builds, and setups to make little noise, and then you're losing a lot of the effectiveness of certain things. But if you're using a fast-moving 30 caliber like a 308, if you're using a 5.56, it makes a crack still. Okay. All it's doing is it's suppressing that concussive rattle in your head. So you don't have this big boom and your eardrums are ringing. Yeah. You have more of a forward diverted kind of suppressed. That's why the whole silencer thing was always it's not a silencer, it just suppresses that concussive boom.
Are silencers really a thing like they are in the movies?
No. Maybe with a suppressed 22, but
so when they're screwing the silencer on the handgun
and James Bond.
Pew, pew, pew,
no, they're a lot, they make a lot more noise than that, unless you really have to do some specific things.
It's almost like they're not real.
Well, the thing,
those movies, I don't get it.
Especially Steven Seagal movies. Jesus, that makes me want to vomit. When I see his military movies, every single thing is inaccurate.
Well, Steven Seagal just makes a lot of people vomit to begin with. That guy's weird.
Oh boy, did I watch a lot of him growing up.
That's where he gets it from.
Did you watch Jean-Claude Van Damme too?
Oh, we watched them all. Arnold,
really?
yeah, Conan the Barbarian, all the Terminators.
Okay, I've seen all those.
Yeah, we just let it rip. My dad didn't care.
Sit
down, have a beer, watch the Terminator with me. I'm like, Dad, I'm 4.
You know, a movie I watched as an adult that I used to love as a kid was RoboCop.
Yeah, they made a new one too.
And then I watched it as an adult, and I'm like, this movie wasn't
It was
gory. It was a lot more gory, and my parents let me watch that all the time.
Yeah, I never was a RoboCop fan.
Oh, I was a big RoboCop
See, you
fan.
guys grew up a little bit earlier than me.
Yeah, because how old are you?
I'm 29 this year.
Dang.
Yeah,
So
you're
I
good.
grew up.
Remember
I
being
grew up when
29?
like
I'm 20.
I grew up when
29 last
Kate
year.
Beckinsale was rocking that spandex suit in Underworld.
Oh, big Underworld guy.
Yeah,
Big.
I love those
Underworld guy.
movies.
Kate Beckinsale.
I got so much I can't. Damn it!
You got hate?
No, not hate.
Oh,
Fun stuff.
yeah,
but I
about
can't.
Kate Beckinsale.
No, yeah. Well, it's a combination of that and your favorite beer and just stuff. I just have stuff that I'm just gonna leave. But no, I don't know.
Well, what we could do is we could slowly transition the show only to fixed TV. That way, we could have more freedom in here.
well,
yeah,
that's what
know,
I
but-
thought the goal was is to
It
get
should be. It definitely
Fixed
should be.
TV's platform.
We just have to. When the social pushes are made, then there just has to be pushed that hey, like we're only going to be here for so long.
So we need you guys' help.
yeah, we need. Yeah, well, we just have to give the public a heads up.
Yeah.
You know, in that because everything that you guys want to talk about, Brian and I get the chance to
Everybody-
talk about on Do the Dude
Right.
Factor.
Yeah. Everybody's getting.
And I watch you guys. You don't
Censored.
think I do? I don't know if you can see
Well, we
me on
appreciate
there,
it.
but I keep an eye on you.
Yeah,
It's
but
you
that's
guys are
the thing.
entertaining.
That's the awesome part about having our own platform is we can talk about and we can have the freedoms. That's exactly
Yeah.
what Fixed TV is about, giving us back the freedoms that other platforms are taking away. That's
Yeah.
not fair to us.
Usually because people's feelings are hurt.
Correct.
which is the
Somebody
messed up part.
someplace watches it and says, "Well, these guys are doing that. And we don't want to hear that." Well, then don't
Yeah,
watch it first.
Don't
and foremost,
watch it.
but
Yeah.
I don't know when that changed. If you don't like it, don't look at it. Like that's a thing. I tell that people all the time when they look at me. I said, if you don't like the way this looks,
yeah, don't
No,
look
I'm just
at it.
kidding.
No, I do like that though. That's a smart.
you like it. Yeah, you like the red hair. That's what I'm saying.
I'm like fine, no sign.
No,
Yeah,
that's I don't
But
know.
Yeah, so
it's tough because you know we have so many followers on Facebook, and it's
yeah, and we're
and
not.
this
we don't
platform's
wanna-
nice to
Yes.
show them the services we offer, the goods that we
Mhm.
offer, the skilled staff that we
Yep.
have here. So
Yep.
I don't know. So it's a tough debate, but
I mean,
Yeah.
the thing that we just have to remind people is it would still be free over there. They would just have to go watch it over there.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, certain things are behind the paywall, but most of the stuff that we're trying to do here,
On TRS side is free.
yeah, is going to
Yeah.
be free always on Fixed TV for those fans. It's just trying to get those fans to transition over to the Fixed side so we can be more raw, more real. And just so
Yeah.
you know, like the fans can be more raw, more real too. Like we have the capabilities where they can physically join us on the show, meaning like in a little small window, they could be chatting
Yeah.
with us. You know,
Inter-
up to 10 people at
interacting,
one
yeah.
time, we can do that. So, I mean, that's not
like video chat. Like,
yeah, yeah.
Really?
Like when we Zoom or Skype people in, a customer could do that.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's the idea, like behind the live shopping. Like if it was primarily on the Fixed side, you could physically take that customer that's in Louisiana, let's say, and you could walk them through your department and you could physically shop for them.
Yeah.
And then all we'd have to do is put it in the cart, bing, bang, boom. You know, once those products are available, and they could check out right there on therealshot.com.
Speaking on new products, you asked me earlier. There's another thing I got coming in. So Black Rain. If you don't have, good morning, Sam. If you don't have an AR-15, they make pretty high-end builds that they design themselves. This one's got what's called a battle-worn OD green finish. It's a nice, high-quality AR. They usually retail $1,300 to $1,500. I got one coming in ridiculously, like I've never seen before deal.
I want to ask that question.
Two of them actually, with red dots
I'm gonna
on
put
them.
you on the spot. If things are so hard to get, why are you discounting stuff?
If things were hard to get, they're becoming easier to get. Shipping is going up in price and other things. Like, so there's ammo is easier to get now.
Okay.
Not every caliber, but the primary calibers are easier to get now. Guns are easier to get now. It's the costs on the reloading stuff and the specific things that people are still targeting to buy and resell online.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Benelli as well as like Dan Wesson and stuff like that, they have just such a Like when people were ordering for the same reason you said, to keep product in for Benelli, that's everybody in the country doing that. So Benelli all of a sudden found themselves seeing dollar signs and was like, yeah, we're taking all these orders. We're not going to do a cutoff at any point. And now they owe people 10,000 back ordered shotguns.
Yeah.
So
do you have limits on anything right now? For a long time, we had limits on
not
ammo.
anymore, no.
Now it's just...
Ammo is, I mean, unless you're talking a specific, like if you're like, hey, I need specific kind of 22 250 or something that's not as common or popular anymore, it could be difficult. But that's just because there isn't many companies still making it. Mm-hmm. But for 308, .6, 3030, 243, all your primary popular stuff, I can get it up. Yeah, easy.
But right now in store, there's no limits on what they can buy. So
I don't
somebody
care
wants
if
to clear a box.
I have had people. I do have people all the time walk in and go, "Yeah, I'm taking everything you got of this," and I'm like, "Go for it, because I'll have more here in a day, 2 days."
That is a good point. Like, what is the turnaround now? Like, if the guy comes in, because like for a while there, it was like every day they had to be checking, and I still recommend every day they should come in and check your supplies. But like, let's say Friday today, somebody clears you out on whatever. If
somebody cleared me out on a certain caliber today, I would have more here in like 2 days.
Oh wow! So that's gotten that much better.
Yes.
Okay, that's good, because it was like weeks.
Yeah,
right? Like,
it could have been. Yeah, it could have been weeks. Some calibers like 17 HMR you couldn't find for like a year. Anywhere.
How about that 410 deal? Is that cleaning up?
Yeah,
a little,
what's up with 410?
410 is still terrible.
Why?
See, isn't that just weird how it's very specific?
Yes. Why is it so tough?
To be honest, I don't have an exact answer on why, but I have speculation, which is that it's just really popular. Anywhere from kids up to adults, and now a lot of guys realizing they don't need a 12 gauge for most things. There's a lot of people stuck in their ways that 12 gauge is the only way to go, but to be honest, I mean, you get a little extended turkey choke on a Stevens 410 and you can shoot 60 yards like it's a slug. Yeah. With TSS, you know? So why would I carry something heavier, less recoil?
Yep. My buddy has one, a 410. I don't remember which one it actually is, and he prefers that for turkey hunting now over even his 20 gauge.
Yeah.
And now when doing that, you have to be shooting the tungsten lows, right? They don't make a lead. Is it lead, right, or for turkey?
Yeah. So you're gonna want to go with the nicer TSS ammo. Yeah.
And that's kind of where the drawback is. You're gonna spend more on your ammo.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you're looking for. Then like you want the less recoil, the maneuverability.
I just think that's hilarious, because I know growing up, my dad, what he had for an inexpensive gun for us to go out and shoot was a single shot 10 gauge
for turkeys.
For anything. Here the boys go.
Yeah.
I think it was a New England Arms single shot.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like that's
probably dirt cheap.
The mini pirate ship cannon.
Yep, that's what it was.
Why wreck yourself?
God, I don't know why I have such a bad back with that nowadays.
Have you guys seen those the old duck boat cannons? Seriously?
Like the mounted ones?
Yes.
I think
you'll see them in like old school little rowboats. It would be a giant shotgun. It would basically shoot out, it was a barrel, and it would basically shoot out like 10 plus 12 gauge amounts of loads at a time. And they banned them, they outlawed them in the US because guys were going out in these little rowboats. They'd point it at a whole freaking flock of birds, boom, and half of them dropped. Yeah, they were
weird. It's weird why they outlawed them.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Everything that's fun gets banned at some point.
That's for sure.
100%.
Hey, I did want to ask a question. So it's 10 o'clock. I don't want to keep you guys off the sales floor a lot longer than what you need to, but hearing protection. I think this is a big one for a lot of people. People don't use it. The advancements in hearing protection are unbelievable. What about, do we have more, or do we have capable ones that are more like inner ear that allow you to hear, but then like on a percussion stop?
Right now, we don't have the small inner ear ones. I like to use the larger electronic muffs.
Yep.
Because the inner ear ones, some people like them, some people don't, and the sizes can vary. But if you take a larger muff, anybody can use it. And if you need more as well, hearing protection than that, because sometimes like people shooting, and I hate when people do this, and some of you might, it is what it is. Don't go to a pistol indoor range with your giant rifle and start creating cannon shots, because it is rattling and it hurts through one layer of hearing protection. So you take a muff and then you just put inner ear little cheap plugs in and put the muffs over. You can't do that if you already got something in your ear.
So I did notice though, because I try to hunt with muffs, the ones that have the sound, right?
Yeah,
the sound dampening.
on, yeah.
But I noticed like getting on the stock is a lot more difficult because of the muff being bigger than, whatever. So getting down on the stock is tougher. That's why I was wondering if we had smaller ones.
So it can be. I don't have any in right now, but it's something that we can definitely look into.
Okay.
I think I've special ordered either you or Kyle.
Kyle got
some
some of those, and I think he really likes them a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it Walker?
So
maybe?
Andrew's access to special orders it's
special orders,
infinite.
yeah.
I mean, he has
Yeah.
massive distribution access.
Yeah.
So we don't carry it. He'll find it.
I'll find it for you.
Hard to find things.
That's
something
perfect.
that come see Andrew. He'll track it down.
It almost be interesting to work with like an ear doctor in the area and see if they could pour it to match it to your particular ear.
Oh, I'm sure somebody would be willing to, but if you're paying someone with a PhD that has molding skills and can build a custom inner ear thing, you're looking at spending $5,000.
Yeah, but that's that same person that has the Kestrel wind reader and and all that stuff.
No, I mean,
The local shooters are probably not going to want to do that, right?
Yeah.
But you also have to put a price on how important is it for you to hear.
So with that being said, though, we were talking about suppressors earlier and the outlaw and everything. So when they were outlawed on NFA and they were considered that class 3 item, their price has never changed. So what the cost for the tax stamp, your application, is $200. Okay. Andy, if you have the capability to Google search this real quick, can you pull up what inflation has been since 1970 on $200 to now? Like what it would have been in 1970? If you have the capability.
He's got all the buttons.
He's got it.
He's got all them buttons.
Hold on, this just in. Oh, not yet.
This just
Breaking news.
All right, Andy, we're gonna continue.
So he's telling me. So
then.
I have it. I got this.
What is it?
I'm the special guy here.
Yeah, you are.
You guys have that option. You choose not to. Okay, so you said in 1970, $200 with the inflation, Andy. Now talk to me again. It's over $1,000
today.
$1,556 today.
You were spending $1,500 just to apply for it back then. That was a technique that the government did on purpose because it wasn't affordable for most guys. Just in addition. Because now you have non-threaded weapons that were made earlier, 1950s, 60s. So now you got to go pay to get it threaded by a professional. You got to pay $1,500 just to get it. You pay $800 at that time. It's probably relative as well to buy one. So it was just it wasn't affordable.
That is just outrageous.
Now, there was a technique they did to keep people from getting them, which is screwed up. So now that it's stayed the same at $200, it's more affordable to apply for. And most weapons come threaded, so it's just, now it's a lot easier to get it. I recommend you look into them because that's going to save your ears. You won't need to wear earplugs while hunting. You'll still hear a boom, but it's not going to damage like that. You know what I mean?
Is it legal in some states to use these?
It's legal in most states to use suppressors while hunting. Every time I coyote hunt, I hog hunt, and there's been multiple times whitetail hunting that I've used suppressors.
Just not in this state.
I hunt mostly in the UP though.
Right.
I don't know. From what I'm hearing, I don't hear a lot of negatives about.
There is no negatives to the suppressors other than that it adds a little extra weight to the front end. But that's why you go with a shorter barrel, and the suppressor actually assists it with more speed like a longer barrel would.
Potato. Doesn't work. Mythbusters.
What's the movie with Mark Wahlberg, Shooter?
Yeah.
He takes a water bottle like that and he fills it full of rags and he's
shooting at
he's also popping guys off with a 22 mag as well. It's like
that water bottle would have exploded. But yeah, that's something a lot of people need to look into. Or at least I really feel like, and not to get too political on here, but I really feel like people need to make a push in at least with hearing protection. It is a tool. It's not like the movies. It is specifically to save our hearing. Too many people that have hunted most of their lives, by the time they get, in their 50s, 60s, 70s, their ears are going.
Oh yeah, my buddy's that way because he shoots a lot of trap.
Yeah, it's just
younger age didn't wear the ear protection. Nope. Now he can hardly hear.
Yeah, exactly. It's to protect our ears. I don't understand why we're not making votes to make these more accessible. Texas has already taken one of the first stands again. With the case they won towards the gun striding laws recently, like last year, I think about 8 months ago or so, they also flipped around and went, all right, since more via the Supreme Court, gun things are open to debate, essentially, that are not constitutional, we're going to start making Texas-made suppressors that our civilians can buy without all your bull crap. And if you have a problem with it, too bad. That's why Texas is actually talking about. Funny enough, they're actually talking
Texas.
they're talking about a recession vote, just to see what their people think, like a 2024 recession vote, just to say, hey, what's our general public's opinion on this? They're doing a vote on it,
like asking if they think we're in one.
Or not a
secede.
Or secede. Yeah.
Oh, to try to like.
They're gonna ask their people whether they think it would be, the general public's opinion to stick with the U.S. or become their own thing, the United Texas of Texas. Yeah.
Dang.
Interesting.
I don't see it happening, but they're voting on it apparently at some point. They've been talking about it on and off forever.
Yeah, but like, why wouldn't it? Texas is basically its own
a giant self-sustaining state with its own cowboy laws, like mutual combat.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about the other day.
Texas has a law still in effect that if me and you disagree, whatever, we're out in public at the bar, and me and you agree to fight, duke it out, there's nothing criminally that can be done by law enforcement.
Now you're talking like fisticuffs.
Yeah,
you're not talking
like it's called mutual combat.
Yep.
It's
really
mutual combat.
Yeah, murder's still murder. I asked you the same question.
No, you can't just assault. Yeah,
murder's still murder. Yeah.
You can't just assault somebody. It's like
right,
agreed fisticuffs is legal and nothing can be done like liability wise or this and that. And it's funny because
hey, you mind signing this real quick? I'm gonna sign it. We're gonna fight this. Yeah. We're gonna duke this out, y'all.
Pretty much.
Probably a thing.
It works for them. It's still a law for a reason. But
so next week we leave for Texas on Wednesday. I've never been there before.
Get your first mutual combat.
Somebody's gonna see me in Texas and be like, "You want to fight?" And I'm like, "No. Everybody hear this? I'm saying no.
Yeah,
I'm not fighting."
So it's actually funny because there's a guy that was talking about this that had moved to Texas or something, and this is when I first heard about it. It was actually on a podcast too. He's talking about Texas mutual combat, and he said, "Dude, I tried to get in one so bad, but everybody'd laugh because every time I was drunk, I'd say Mortal Kombat."
No wonder Joe Rogan moved to Texas. That guy's a UFC fighter to the end. He's probably just beating people up.
Oh yeah,
he is a lot.
Exercise. I fight somebody.
Joe Rogan's a lot more chill than he used to be.
Well,
when he was sober, he was unbearable to everyone in his life. That's
when he
what
was
everyone
sober?
says. Yeah, everyone will say when he was sober, he was unbearable. Like he'd always be just like a strict like stickler, like get up, like to his friends and everybody.
So now he's not sober?
What's his name? Oh, he smokes constantly.
Oh, you're talking that kind of sober.
Yes. So basically his friends and everybody had recommended. They're like, dude, you're a little too high strung. You may need to do this, and that's why he's just straight chilled out now.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's chilled out now.
Unless he talks about grizzly bears or something, because you see him always screaming and yelling with random animals.
Yeah,
he loves animals.
He does love it. I saw one the other day where it was a clip from his podcast, and he gets up and he's like, he's got a golden retriever.
Yeah.
Like, every morning I wake up and there's my golden retriever, and I go, "Good morning, sir." It's like coming from Joe Rogan, Fear Factor Joe Rogan. And he's like, we go back and forth. Then he gets up on the table and I pet him, and the dog just gets the biggest grin on his face. Like that's how chill this dude is right now, right? But then on a Saturday night, he's watching UFC and he's just talking, just getting crazy.
Well, you've seen him on Meat Eater, right? With Steve Rinella?
Yeah. Yeah,
so he's a hunter. He's
big time hunter.
Yeah, he loves
hunter.
Loves archery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. When he uses, because he uses it as it's also like a calming thing as well for him. It's like mental focus. All that stuff goes into archery, and I'm sure it goes into shooting as well.
Oh, absolutely. I'm zoned out about everything in life. When you have something that's could be potentially so dangerous if you make a mistake, you're tuned in. So when I'm at a rifle range and I'm practicing shooting fast, or if I'm practicing shooting distance where I have to bring in mathematics and everything else, that's all I'm focused on. I'm not sitting there thinking about, oh, damn, I got to see Justin at work tomorrow. Like you know what I mean?
Oh, no.
I'm just messing with you.
No, that's good. That's what I thought this morning when you called me. I was like, what do you want? No, I'm just kidding.
He's so excited. Yesterday, he was pretty stoked to be on here.
I know. This is
the
what
podcast is the fun side.
Mike, I think Mike might be losing his spot.
Well, we still got to do fishing stuff. I mean, as awesome as firearms are, fishing is still
darn
king.
it.
Fishing is
why
king.
you got to end the show like that, bro?
Just disappointing.
But you can shoot fish, so I mean, we're gonna mix it up, do some different things.
Not with a gun, though. You can't.
Well, legally,
if they're already dead, maybe.
Suppress this. Does a carp work? If you put a carp over? Well, speaking of carp, Lyle, carp stompers on. Hey, we have to
What
say
is he, 2 days
Kyle,
older?
get to-
a happy belated
Yep.
birthday to the carp stomper, Kyle.
Hope you're catching some bass down there. Sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's saying get to work while he's catching bass.
Yeah,
weird,
I know.
Kyle. But he's on a business.
As soon as I leave this podcast, I'm gonna go sit in your chair
and fart.
and I had a lot of hard-boiled eggs for breakfast.
And whatever was in that water bottle.
Don't worry, I'll
Yeah.
shut the door before I leave.
Oh, what else did he say? Roll it up.
I can't see Andy. All right, well,
Thanks, guys. Fishing sucks.
that's too bad, man.
Yeah, sounds like a
Hey,
terrible
fishing's still good here. Wallies are popping off, so come home.
day. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap her
Yeah,
up.
we need to. We gotta get
Any
we got stuff
final
to do.
words? Final thoughts?
That's everything I had.
Hey, you want to see Andrew? You want to talk to Andrew? 920-750-6140. Ask for Andrew in the firearms department.
The Pew Pew department.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And then check them out Thursdays at 2 p.m. on Fixed TV.
Fix TV. We're
Free.
trying.
It's
Yeah,
free.
and
Don't forget, it's
little-
free. A lot of people are freaked. Oh, I gotta pay. No, it's
Pro tip.
That stuff's free.
Andrew's day off is Monday. He's here Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah,
so if
that's
you're
a good
looking
heads
for him
up as well.
specifically, yep,
Mhm.
So
he's the guy.
All right. Well, cool, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the beautiful weekend. If you are going out for the Wisconsin Youth Turkey Hunt, share your pictures to the Real Shot socials. We want to see the success. So have a great weekend, everybody. And we will see you next Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
oh yeah.